John Edward Jones entered the Nutty Putty Cave at around 8 p.m. local time on the evening of November 24, 2009, as a means of spending some time with his family right before Thanksgiving, doing something they had always loved doing. Jon Jones was 26 at the time of the incident, and he had a wife, Emily, a daughter of 1 year, Elizabeth, and a son on the way that would have been born in June 2020. Jon Jones was accompanied by various family members and friends, in particular, Josh Jones, who was 23, his brother, and 9 other friends and family members, and they had decided to explore Nutty Putty Cave as a way to connect with each other ahead of the holiday. At the time of the Nutty Putty Cave incident, Jon Jones was attending medical school in Virginia, and this 6-foot guy was in the prime of his life, no doubt, with a beautiful family and promising career ahead of him. About an hour into the caving expedition, Jon Jones decided to find the Nutty Putty Cave formation known as the Birth Canal, which is a tight passage that spelunkers must crawl through carefully, and in addition to being extremely narrow and slippery, it is also extremely perpendicular to the ground, meaning that the person needs to go headfirst towards gravity, the opposite of what the human body is meant to do. Jon Jones was in a part of the Nutty Putty Cave system that he thought was the Birth Canal, and he inched his way into the narrow passage head first, moving forward using his hips, stomach, and fingers, but he realized he'd made a grave mistake when he found the passage getting narrower and not giving way like the Birth Canal should have been. Jon Jones would have turned back at this stage of his cave exploration when he realized that he wasn't in the right branch of the cave, but the problem was that it was too narrow to even wriggle back out the way he'd come, which meant that he had to try to press forward because he thought that there was a widening of the crevasse in front of him which would allow him enough space to twist and turn and come back out. Jon Jones tried to move forward by exhaling the air in his chest so that he could fit through a space that was barely 10 inches across and 18 inches high, about the size of the opening of a clothes dryer, but when Jon inhaled again and his chest puffed back out, he got stuck for good. Jon's brother Josh found him soon after he had gotten stuck, and he tried to figure out some way to get his brother out, but to no avail, because the space was too narrow for Josh himself to do any significant pulling on his own as well. And even though Josh tried to pull at his brother's calves, Jon just slid down into the passage even further, because the Nutty Putty Cave is extremely slippery.